Whoa, happy Thursday night, everybody. It is now 8 o'clock, and if it's 8 o'clock on a Thursday, you know where you are. Right here at Out of the Box Sports. I am Big Mike, aka Mike Lauro. Welcome to Big Mike's 4for4 Locker Room Podcast. We are live, and guys, we got a boatload going on right now this hour. We're talking Eagles NFL draft. Eagles make a hire today. I don't know if you heard, or did they? I don't know. We have to wait and see. Guys, we got the Sixers in action as we speak. We're going to touch on that. But, guys, we're kicking it all off with those fighting Phils. Woo! Home, 7-game homestand to start. 4 with the Rockies, 3 with the Seattle Mariners. Right now, they're off to a rocky start. You can sit there and say. Eileen checking in says, happy Thursday, best part of Thursday. Yes, it is. I am the guy who's after hump day. Gotta love it. So, Philly starting off a 4-game homestand this weekend with the Colorado Rockies. Right now, off to a kind of a rough start. They're losing 2-0. But, man, how about Matt Strom? 10 Ks so far in the game. Holy cow. We're not going to talk too much about tonight's game because it's still kind of going on as we're doing this. Joe Sullivan checking in. What's up, Big Mike? Joe Sullivan, I know he's got his Dr. J jersey on tonight. Them Sixers are up in Brooklyn right now as we speak, taking on those Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully, the Sixers can get a win, put that stranglehold on that series. We're going to get into that. But like I said, we're kicking it off with the Phillies. Yesterday, great win yesterday. Taijuan Walker gave us 6 2/3 innings. I thought he was going to get to 7. Really looked like he had like a kind of a real not bad top of the first, kind of marginal. Gave up a 2-run homer in the top of the first, but after that, he was kind of lights out. Kind of what we were pictured with him. What was advertised, he's an innings eater. I'm liking where this Phillies pitching is starting to come around a little bit. They're starting to go a little bit, deeper. Joe Sullivan saying, rocking a white Embiid. He needs to get his head out of his ass. Don't worry, he will. You kind of had to figure, Joe, you've been saying this the most. You said a gentleman's sweep. Kind of figured almost Brooklyn might steal one of these games. Tonight might be the night. Maybe not. Still kind of early yet. I think the Sixers still have a shot if they keep it close. So, but hey, right now, though, getting back to this Phillies team yesterday, Trey Turner yesterday, a triple away from the cycle, hits his first home run as a Philly. And I'll tell you what, is there any more dangerous 1-2 punch right now in baseball than Bryson Stott and Trey Turner at the top of a lineup, just setting that lineup up? I mean, you got to figure, too, it's starting to get a little warmer. So, sooner or later, Schwarber's going to kick in. And I'll tell you what, as much as people were kind of on this guy a year ago, I said it. Yeah, guys, by the way, kudos, shout out to Paul Spencer. Paul Spencer doing the graphics here, the new graphics up for the show. Totally awesome. We talked last night. He said, give me 4, 1 from each team. And, of course, I had to go with Bernie for the Flyers, Doc for the Sixers, B-Doc for the Eagles, and, of course, my man, the dude, Lenny Dykstra. I had to go for him with the Phils. It was either him or Dalton. So I took Lenny. Showed Lenny some love. But I'll tell you what, man, getting back to Taijuan Walker, this starting pitching is really – you're starting to see now these guys are going a little longer, except for the first 2. The top 2 got to get it going a little bit. I think Wheeler needs to get it stretched out a little more. Again, I think that fatigue is probably maybe starting to wear off from going as long as they did a year ago. You're starting to see the Phillies starting pitching get a little bit better. I'll tell you what, the bullpen's been lights out. Gregory Soto had a bad first impression. After that blown game in Texas to start the season, dude has been lights out. Alvarado's been lights out. Kimbrel is actually pitching very, very well. So is Sir Anthony Dominguez. Dude, if this keeps going the way it's going, that bullpen's going to be nasty. Yes, people are saying, Nolan Wheeler look fatigued. I agree, Joe. I think they do. But I think they're going to get almost their wind about them. I kind of was expecting that from them going forward with this. Coming into this year, I thought Phillies might get off to a rough start. But if you look at it, they're 8-11. They're 3 games under 500, basically with 10 days left to go in the month. If they're able to be around 500 after the start that they got off to, I think they'll be okay. Um, I think Atlanta is playing really good ball right now, and the Mets are falling apart. Um, now they're going to be missing Scherzer on top of not having Verlander. I mean, and they lost Edwin Diaz. So it looks like the Mets are probably going to have to start out slugging people because the Mets still do get a pretty good offense, with Lindor and McNeil and, Alonso. Like the Mets can hit, they can rake. And I'll tell you what, they're going to be a really good. I think the Mets will be there in the end. I think everybody in the NL East is going to come back a little bit. Marlins are playing tough ball right now. Washington is who we thought they were. But I'll tell you what, there's been some surprises around Major League Baseball. What happened to Max and his substance? Didn't hear anything yet about that, Paul. Hopefully, we should be hearing from Major League Baseball real soon about that. So hopefully, we will find out if he does get a suspension. But I imagine it's going to be at least a 10-gamer. Now, he can appeal it. But if they find out that it's not sweat and rosin, which he was saying it was, and that it's an illegal substance, if they find that to be true, man, that's an automatic 10-game suspension. He can make his next start because he will be appealing. If he loses that appeal and they suspend him, though, 10 games, man. Like that's at least 2 starts for Max Scherzer. So, I mean, looking at that, man, like that's really going to be the hard. It's going to be real hard. Miko Spencer says says Phillies are down. Phillies are down 3-0. Okay. Sixers have overtaken the lead on the Nets 32-28 beginning of the second quarter. So Sixers look like they're fighting back there. Phillies are down 3-0 going into it. Wow, Bilatti's now pitching for them. Let's kind of tip your cap here. I mean, yeah, did Strom give up 3 earned runs? Yeah, but he had 11 Ks. 11 Ks in 5 innings pitched. 11 Ks, 1-0 Devils over those New York Rangers. I'm pretty sure Danny's probably beating up his TV right about now. But this offense has to get going. There's no way right now they should be held to 2 hits. I mean, Castellanos and Stott each would have hit. The offense got to get rolling tonight. But yeah, right now, good starting pitching from Strom. I mean, that's you can't ask for more. The guy went 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs, and he had 11 Ks and 2 walks. I'm sorry, you got to help your guy out there. You got an offense the way that this offense has been hitting. Boom. Stars. Elaine says he's calm for now, just for now. But I mean, if you're looking around Major League Baseball, man, there's definitely been some surprises. And I'm going to touch on a team right now that I feel like nobody really seen coming and is playing really good ball. And that's the Pirates. Right now, they enter tonight 12-7. They're 2 games back on Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 14-5. They're tied with Atlanta with the best winning percentage in the National League. Sorry about that. If you hear it, it's a loud cycle riding by. But yeah. They're sitting there at 12-7. The Cubs are at 11-6. So, I mean, hey, you got some surprise teams right there. If you're looking at the teams that made the postseason a year ago, I mean, you have the Mets right now that are 12-7. Atlanta's 14-5. Of course, Miko Spencer's going to buy. Miko, you got to I don't want to put your name. Paul, listen, you got to let me know how much Pirate season tickets are. They got to be like about $100. It can't be that expensive. But, if you're looking at teams that made the postseason a year ago, Mets, Phillies, Atlanta. Atlanta's got the best record with 14-5. Mets are 12-7. Eagles Phillies are 8-11. Then you're looking at St. Louis. St. Louis is also 8-11. You got the Dodgers, who are 9-10, and San Diego, who's also 9-11. So the teams who made the postseason just a year ago, with the exception of the Mets and the Braves, everybody else is 500 or under. If you go to the AL, Tampa right now is just rolling. Tampa's got the best record in all of baseball. They're 16-3. They're rolling. Yankees are right there, 12-7. Toronto's 11-8, so I mean they got a winning record. Cleveland's around 500; they're 10-9. If you're looking, Seattle's 8-11 from a playoff team from a year ago, and believe it or not, the defending world champions right now are 9-10. Bro, 81 games. We're $890 lower level third baseline. There you go. That's not bad at all. That averages to about $10 a game. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area and you're watching this, hey, you want to go check out the Pirates? There you go. $890 gets you per seat, gets you down below. That's not bad at all. And I've seen that ballpark. Never been in the ballpark. Was in Pittsburgh about 10 years ago to go see an Eagles-Steelers game. And they're like, it's kind of like our area a little bit. You know, they have PNC Parks on one side. You walk across the lot and Heinz Field. The big ketchup bottles on the other side on there. So, but it got to be cool. It was cool. I got to see the outside of it. Got to see the statue of Honus Wagner. But yeah, really a lot of surprise teams right now playing. And you know, my two teams right now that I feel have been playing, or three teams really. You got to put the Cubbies in there, the Pirates, and I'm going to say those Texas Rangers. Those Texas Rangers are playing good ball right now. And, you know, they kind of smacked Houston around a little bit in their meeting just about a week ago. So it's going to be a long, it's still a long season. I think who's going to be the cream of the crop is going to be there. But, I mean, as of right now, you're taking a look, and you pretty much have the leaderboard right now going on. Like I said, Phillies are losing 3-0 in the top of the sixth, and it doesn't look good because Rockies got 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. But now we're going to switch it over. Rob Hefner checking in, a.k.a. the mayor of Vegas, soon to be home of the new Las Vegas Athletics. That's right. You heard it here first. July 28th, 30th, Out of the Box Sports, Phillies versus Pirates weekend. Then party at Paul's house. Always welcome. There you go. You're saying it right there. I'm actually going to go do Godsmack here in Philly, and I'm getting up bright and early the next morning and going to out there to go hang with Paul and Sully and whoever else is going on that trip. That's if I go see Godsmack. If I don't see, that'll be a Friday night. I'm on my way out. So, but now we're going to touch on your Philadelphia 76ers. But before we do that, guys, it is here. You got to try it. Monkey Cold Coffee. Here it is. Bourbon chocolate chip, as you see right there. Use promo code OOTBS or OOTB Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com to check out for the discount. New flavor alert. Toasted coconut rum is coming soon, guys. They have a bunch of different things on there. I know Paul was talking to me about the cold brew. I'm really seriously thinking about ordering me some cold brew from there. But yeah, guys, definitely make sure you give them a shout out and let them know by using the promo code that you saw here on Out of the Box. I can't wait for that toasted coconut rum. I am definitely going to be trying that because I am a genius when it comes to blender and alcohol. My wife will tell you. Definitely really good about that. But now we're going to get in right now with your Philadelphia 76ers round 1, game 3 tonight. As of right now, we're taking a look at it. Sixers are up by 4 with about 8 minutes left to go in the first half. And I'll tell you, you're looking at the stat line right now, nothing is really jumping out at you right now. Joel Embiid's got 2 points right now. He's got as many points right now as PJ Tucker. Tyrese Maxey is leading the way right now with 12 points. James Harden's behind him with 10. And Tobias Harris. Playoff Toby is here. He's got 5 right now as they're playing in the middle of the second quarter. So, guys, I want to ask you your question. I want to ask you this question. And I've been hearing about it mostly all week. Everybody believes that the Sixers can get by the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think Brooklyn's going to make this a series, even if Brooklyn wins tonight. I think the Sixers will do their due diligence and be done with them. It's moving on to this next series. Rob Hefner says, when the A's come, I'll never go to work on opening day again. I used to love ditching work to go to Phil's game opening day. Man, we've all done it. Matter of fact, a lot of us last year Rob, Sully, Europol. We all got together. My partner over at Devereaux, we all got together and went to the Phillies game a year ago. We had a blast at opening day. But, I'm looking at this and, I'm really having a tough time wrapping my head around this Sixers team beating the Boston Celtics. And I don't feel like the Sixers are that, I don't feel like there's much of a gap between them. I've had a chance to go back and really kind of watch some of the condensed games from these two teams over the year, and this, other than opening night, the Sixers have been right there with them, and it's just kind of like Boston's kind of had the bounce go their way, and I'll tell you, I just feel like, and for people who want to get on Glenn Rivers, Glenn's did a pretty good job this year. The way he's shortened his bench for this postseason, he kind of has to, for what he's done with the players who are on this team who don't want to be here. He's kind of did what he had to do with those guys. And, I feel like the Sixers are probably 8 deep on the bench, where if you look at the Celtics are more like 9-10 deep on the bench. So, as Paul brings up right here, says Boston is a deeper team, 8-9 deep, not missing a beat. For Glenn, it's going to be in-game adjustments and a chess match. Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's going to be hard. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Sixers can't, because the Sixers did prove to themselves that they can beat that team. Now, mind you, again, that last meeting, there was no Jaylen Brown, no starting center for the Boston Celtics. Sixers almost gave that one away. The Sixers got to clean up their defense. If they are going to make this a series with the Celtics, they got to clean up their defensive end on there. We've been hearing all year, this is the reason why we went out and got PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's got to take away Jaylen Brown. I'm not worried about Tatum. Tatum is going to be for Boston what Embiid is for the Sixers. He's going to get his. You got to shut down Jaylen Brown moving forward into the next series. Again, you really shouldn't look past, you shouldn't look past an opponent, but I'm sorry, Brooklyn just doesn't match up with the Sixers. And I just feel like the Sixers are just really kind of the Sixers are head and shoulders better. So I can't wait to see what goes on there. And I'll tell you what, man, this first round of the NBA Finals has been really good. You got the Lakers and Grizzlies. They're tied at 1. The Heat and Bucks are tied at 1. Okay. The Nuggets have been doing what they're supposed to do right now. They're up 2-0 on. They're up 2-0. You got the Celtics. They're up 2-0, but now they're going to Atlanta. Clippers and Suns are tied at 1-1, and the Knicks Cavs are tied at 1-1. And I'll tell you what, those two games have been just phenomenal. But the Kings being up 2-0 on Golden State kind of got me scratching my head. This Kings team is a team you got to watch out for, because if they start playing, they can make a run. I'm not sold on Denver. I'm not sold on Phoenix. Everybody's pretty much anointed them. To me, Denver doesn't have any defense. With Phoenix, are you getting Durant or are you not? Or what type of it? Paul Spencer also saying the Clippers too. If the Clippers get out of round 1 and George comes back, they could be scary. Yeah. I mean, if they get past the Suns, they're going to be scary too. I mean, the Lakers are playing pretty good ball right now. They're playing up against a banged up Memphis team without John Morant. Anthony Davis came back last night, had a really, really good game for them last night. So the West is really kind of up in the air. The East, who is going to be the top 3 seeds are moving on to the second round. The question is it going to be Cleveland or New York who's going to join Milwaukee, Boston, and the Sixers. So, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to sleep on Jimmy Butler, because he came out and showed me something in game one. And for them to go there and take a game, that's big. Giannis is hurt. He's been out. I think he might be out for this next game too with back spasms. So, I mean, you're taking a look at it, man. I'll tell you. It's going to be a rough one. Tomorrow night, you got Celtics, Hawks, Knicks, Cavaliers, Knicks, Nuggets, Timberwolves. I think that's going to be interesting to see how the Nuggets go when they go into Minnesota. Same thing with Cleveland going into the Garden. I think that's going to be kind of pretty cool to watch. Boston gets to go to Atlanta. Damn, do the Sixers confirmed? Don't know what you mean there, kid, but you're going to have to do that. Knicks did their job in stealing one game in Cleveland. Yeah, they did. I still got a feeling that series is going to go 7. I really do. I think this first round's been pretty good. And, excuse me. But, I just, with this that you see here with this opening round, like, especially with the West, it's like so wide open. This Eastern round, like, you kind of, I think, everybody believes that Milwaukee's better than Miami. Damian Lillard is at the Sixers game. Oh, well, Portland season's over, so, and I imagine he's going to be, there might be a trade involved there. A lot of people were thinking that. The Sixers fans wanted Dame Lillard here 2 years ago. So there's a lot of big-time names being grouped in here with Philadelphia. Sorry, guys, had to wet the whistle. So, but looking back on it, so I mean, what are you guys feeling? What do you guys for the NBA for possible matchups for round 2? You heard Paul say if the Clippers get by the Suns in the first round, therefore, I'm liking this Sacramento Kings team. I watched the first 2 games, man, and they're just obliterating Golden State. And now Golden State ain't got no Draymond. And who made these odds? You're going to make the Kings a 7.5 point dog tonight, and they're up 2-0. And they pretty much held Steph Curry in check in these first 2 games. And no Draymond tonight? Ooh. That screams that screams taking that screams Sacramento for me tonight. I know Paul was agreeing with me. We were talking prior to going on here live. So, guys, with that being said, before we move on to the NFL, I'd like to just do a quick rundown of the NHL playoffs and what my predictions are for that. I pretty much gave my predictions for the NBA. So let me go here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to bring up all the I'm going to bring up all the series that we have. I'll start with the games that are going on tonight. Tampa Bay, Toronto, right now. Tampa Bay leads that series one game to nothing. Currently, middle of the second period, it's 3-1 Maple Leafs. I like Tampa in this series. I think it goes 7. I think Toronto gets their heart broken again in Game 7, but I feel like Tampa moves on. Rangers, Devils, another series I believe will go 7. Battle of the Hudson. And I know a lot of people like the Rangers, but you know what? This Devils team has been good. They've been good all year. And I think they squeak by the Rangers. I know Danny's probably ready to throw darts at me. I think they squeak by 4-3. I think that goes 7. The Devils move on. Seattle against Colorado. Colorado lost the first game. I really don't see them losing much more. I think they may lose one more. I think Colorado takes that in 6. And tonight, Winnipeg Vegas Golden Knights. I also see the Golden Knights winning that one 4-2 as well. Just to hand out those two. And then, of course, Hurricanes are already up 2-0 on the Islanders. I think the Islanders are no match for them. Florida and the Bruins. That has been an interesting series. Boston kind of manhandled Florida in game one, but then Florida returned the favor to them in game two. And for them to go up there and steal a game, another series that possibly could go 7. Although I do think Boston is the better team than Florida. I think Florida gives them a battle run for the money. I'll take the Bruins in 7 only because game 7's at home. I know that you can go to Boston and win in game 7. I saw my Flyers do it, but I definitely do believe that they will. I think the Bees will prevail. Kings and Oilers. What time are the Flyers on? Dude, the Flyers won't be on for a long time, TJ. They won't be on for probably another 3 years in April. They got a lot of rebuilding to do. Oh, boy, do they got a lot of rebuilding. But it's nice to see the Devils finally made the playoffs for, the second time in, 15 years. So it's glad that they're finally able to come back and actually start being a team again. I actually almost forgot that they played. Yeah. I love my boy TJ, but boy, when it comes to Phillies, Mets, and Flyers, Devils, oh boy, do we take shots. Stars and Wild, I'm going Dallas Stars. Oilers and Kings, I think the Kings, I could see the Kings winning this series. That's going to be my upset. Everybody's so high on this Oilers team. They don't have any goaltending. No goaltending, no defense. It's been their story for years. I like the Kings to move on in this season, in the best of 7. That could go 7 as well. Stars and Wild, 6 games. I think the Stars get rid of them. So my Stanley Cup picks for this year is Carolina at Dallas. I think Carolina wins the East. I think Dallas wins the West. I think Dallas wins the Stanley Cup in 6 games. That's my prediction. So I think the Dallas Stars do hoist Lord Stanley's this year. So let's see how it plays out, guys. I would really want to see what's going on. And as Paul puts up in here, it says make sure you guys tune in tonight. Right after us, Fight Club 215. Of course, the hardest working guy on Out of the Box Sports, Paul Spencer, along with Joey Woods, a.k.a. Larry the Leprechaun. They will be joining. They will be hosting Fight Club 215 with special guest Parrick Brady, PFL fighter, and New York Rangers postgame show right after that. So make sure, guys, if you're a Devils fan, TJ, make sure you stay here. Pop on back after the game tonight and let Danny know how much his Rangers suck. So if there ain't nothing good about watching is just 2 divisional teams just beat up on one another. That's a kind of game that a Flyer fan just sits back and goes, yeah, you kick his ass. No, you kick his ass. It's great. But now, guys. Yeah, that's right, Eileen. Larry the Leprechaun. That's Joey Woods. You put him in a top hat and some green side, and he could be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish mascot. Uh-oh. There goes our boy, Ken Fry. Check him out every Saturday right here on Out of the Box. And, of course, every other Wednesday morning, he hosts, the Bat Cave, where he talks about those lovable New York Mutts. And, of course, he covers the Vegas sports scene, covering everything Vegas. I know Ken's probably pretty good to go. Yes, Ken, go Kings, go. I do not like the Oilers. Haven't liked the Oilers in forever. I do like Draisaitl. I do like Connor McDavid. But as far as that franchise goes, no. Do not like them. So, yeah, I want the Kings to win that series. And I think they can. Like I said, Edmonton's biggest problem has been their goaltending. It's been their Achilles heel now for the last God knows how many years. And their defense is just god-awful. So, they'll put up 6 goals, but they'll give up 7. Okay. So, guys, listen, we're going to show you, before we move on to our Eagles, guys, check out our new lineup coming up. Here it is right here. our weekly broadcasting schedule. You'll see it all across our platforms, whether it be Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. This is it. Monday night, Joystick Junkies. My son and Danny, of course, they're part of Big Blue Power Hour. Make sure they'll be talking all video games. Tuesday night, you got the Joe Sullivan, and Euro Paul talking extra innings baseball. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. every other Wednesday. It's the Bat Cave, of course, with our guy Ken Fry. Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, you have the College Football Frenzy with myself, Paul Spencer, Joe Sullivan, and Sean Kilrain. Cannot wait. We got one more division to do. Next week, we will be doing the NFC East. I took the daunting task of taking those Washington Commanders, and it's great because Paul Spencer has the Philadelphia Eagles. This, you got to stay. If you want to tune in to see where Paul's going to put the Eagles rank, that right there is must-see podcasting in itself. And, of course, Joey Sullivan's got the Dallas Cowboys. So, of course, speaking of those Dallas Cowboys, right before we go on air on Wednesday, you have Matt Klein, Dave Yarnell, and, of course, Paul Spencer doing them 215 boys. They cover everything Dallas Cowboys, the comings and goings. And, they had a great interview last night. And if you were on to check it out, man, I'll tell you, they really got some good stuff in there, man. So if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, definitely check them out every Wednesday night, 6:30. Of course, you got myself here every Thursday night talking all Philly sports. We're getting ready for the draft. And then, of course, following me is, again, the hardest working guy in Out of the Box Sports. It's Paul Spencer and Lucky Larry, a.k.a. Joey Woods. They cover everything MMA, boxing, Fight Club 215. Every Friday night, 8 p.m., my son, Danny, Stacy, Big Blue Power Hour, which, by the way, I am taking over next Friday, not tomorrow. A week from tomorrow, I will be taking over. It will be myself, Danny, and my son, Evan. We will be on covering rounds 2 and 3 Friday night of the NFL Draft here at Out of the Box Sports. And, of course, every Saturday night, our boy Kenny Fry covers everything Las Vegas. The A's are looking for some prime real estate in the desert. How long before they go over there? So, guys, this is our lineup. Make sure you tune in. We got something for everybody. We got some shows coming up in the future. Paul said something about he's working on a show now about Chihuahuas and tutus dancing. Trust me, I believe him. Out of the Box Sports says, I can't say fly, Eagles, fly. Yes, you can. It's real easy. Oh, man. Sorry. I've been pausing. My mouth feels like the Mojave Desert, so I don't know. It's been a long day. But, guys, we're going to break into something right now. Draft. Pre-draft. Where are we going with this 10th pick? Will it be Sharansky? Will it be the young man from Ohio State, whose name is slipping my mind right now? There's another kid from Tennessee who's starting to rise up the ranks as well. The young man from Tennessee, both of them are skipping my mind. Osiris, he's rising up. Is it going to be him? Is it Bijan Robinson? Does Nick Sirianni do a Doug Peterson and go grab another tight end? Maybe a Michael Mayer. Maybe the kid out of Georgia. Even, boy, you want to talk about making Paul Spencer's head spin. Can you imagine the Eagles grabbing Michael Mayer, baby Gronk? His head will be spinning. TJ says, talk to me about Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is going to be getting coffee for Sean Desai. Or is he? I got word around 3 o'clock this afternoon that Matt Patricia was here as an Eagles defensive coach, a senior advisor, I believe. But when asked, it wasn't finished yet. Don't know. So I would imagine he's probably going to be getting coffee for Sean Desai. My thing is, I just want to be a fly in the room when Slay walks in there. I think that ought to be pretty good. If I'm Matt Patricia and I come here, he's the first guy I'm seeking out. You should just stick his hand out and say, man, I was wrong about you. And I think that would kill everything. I don't look at it as a bad hire, though. If you look at it, Patricia knows defense. Like, they're not asking him to be a quarterback's coach. Okay. The guy knows defense. He cut his teeth coming up the defensive ranks. He was the defensive first move as the new Eagles GM as of next week. Fire Howie, just saying, yeah. Yeah, if Paul had his way, Howie'd be on his way to Dallas. But you know, I thought the Eagles did a really picking up Matt Patricia. I'm not as mad as a lot of other people think. It's not really a position of power. He's kind of like in that Vic Fangio role from a year ago. He's a defensive consultant. But I think he's like or a defensive assistant. Like, he's under Desai. He's not going to take over for Desai. He's not there to take his job. So why not? I mean, the Eagles kind of got caught holding the bag, if you will, this year. They had Vic Fangio for most of the year as a paid consultant. I don't know why they didn't continue to pay him, but they allowed Vic Fangio to leave and go to Miami, knowing that Jonathan Gannon was out of here. I think he was out of here no matter what. I mean, when your boss literally tells you, oh, by the way, you got an interview tomorrow here in Arizona, you might as well just stay. Like, how he didn't even let him back on the plane after that defensive performance. He was like, dude, stay here. You got a job interview tomorrow. Like, come on. So, to me, I kind of like it. He's a veteran coach. He's been around. Granted, he's back on the side of the ball that he knows what he's talking about. Their defense wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, the Eagles put up 41 points on his defense, but it was Bill's decision. A lot of people don't realize it wasn't Patricia. It was Bill. It was Belichick who ran the defense with him and his kid who keeps licking the air. So, let's see what Patricia can do. Like I said, he's not really in any position of power. So maybe he's just trying to get on somewhere. Maybe he's trying to work his way back up. Maybe get a defensive coordinator spot somewhere else. He's just going to come work for the Eagles with the Eagles for a year. I mean, stop and think about it. Wouldn't you want to come here and work if you're a coach? Think about that. Eagles have been, they've been one of the more winninger franchises, in recent history. Been to 3 Super Bowls over the last 20 years, won one, been a perennial playoff team for most of those years. So, I mean, wanting to come here and coach here, you're going to start seeing that, man. I just can't believe that he took that far of a step back. I mean, I think Bill kind of ruined him this year, having him work with Mac Jones, and Mac Jones going, yo, this guy is not a defensive coordinator, So, I don't know. It's all waiting to be seen what he does and what his role is going to be, technically, because I don't think he's signed yet. So, I don't know. They had Howie and Nick on earlier today, and as of that moment, he wasn't signed. So, let's see what happens with that. But now we're going to get on with this draft. And I want to know, me personally, I want to trade back from number 10. The only way I'm staying at 10 is if you got a shot at Skoronski or Jalen Carter. And I don't think Jalen Carter's going to make it to 10. And I don't think Skoronski's going to make it to 10 either. So, with that being said, I'm not trying to move up. I think the Eagles should trade back. Look at those. Look at the Texans. They're going to look at Paris. Was it Paris Campbell from Ohio State? He's going to be there around 10 or 11. If you can pull a deal with them for them to move up 2 spots, you grab another first-round pick. Maybe a second, or however you want to work it. Maybe you take their second-round pick this year, second-round pick next year. Say, all right, give us 2 twos. You can move up 2 spots. And they get number 12. They're the only 2 guys that I'm staying at 10 for. As much as they're talking about Bijan Robinson, I think he'll be there. I think, though, if they trade back with the Texans and they go from 10 to 12, Bijan Robinson will still be there. I think Bijan Robinson will still be there when they hit around 15, to be honest with you. Everybody says, oh, you got to worry about the Cowboys. Listen, Cowboys got a lot of ways to go to try to jump up and catch them. And I don't think the Cowboys have the draft capital to do it. So, I'm not. Do I think that they will end up with Bijan Robinson? I think they will. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this pick that they have, this number 10 pick, it's a luxury pick. It's a luxury pick. Okay? Their pick is number 30. The Eagles. This is a luxury pick. Thank you, New Orleans. But it's a luxury pick. So, a lot of people have been going crazy, going, oh, no, you got to take the offensive lineman here. If you're worried about taking an offensive lineman, that's what you got 30 for. This pick, Howie gambled. He took a shot at it on his young quarterback getting better. His quarterback got better. And because he made that deal, he got an extra first-round pick this year. Now that pick has become a luxury pick. So since it's a luxury pick, okay, if they go out and get Bijan Robinson with, the 10th pick or the 12th pick, I'm fine with it because it's a luxury pick. Our pick is number 30. Eagles got to the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl. They're next to last. That's where I look in that group and say, okay, who are we going to get in that one? That 10th pick, it's a luxury pick. This is what it's there for. It's a luxury of going out and getting somebody. Boom. Joey Woods, speaking of Lucky Larry, here he is checking in. Dude from Northwestern is an all-pro for years to come. Joey, you're right. I believe Sharansky is. He'll be an all-pro guard. I don't think he can play all 5 positions on the line. I don't like him as an NFL tackle. I think he would be great as a guard. But the only problem is the Chicago Bears pick in front of the Eagles. And they're going to try to grab this guy to protect Justin Fields. You know what I mean? So, like I said, he's a guy. I'm staying at 10. If both of those guys are on the board, I'm staying at 10. If either one of those guys haven't been touched by the time 9 rolls up, then you stay at 10 and you take either Sharansky or Jalen Carter. But if one's already gone, I'm already on the phone with Houston trying to move back a couple spots. Pick up some more draft capital. Get another second-round pick. Take their second-round pick for this year and take another second-round pick next year. Like, the Texans got a boatload of number 1 picks coming. Rumors saying Texans are interested with Lamar giving up the 2 pick and future picks and still keeping their 12th pick this year. Wow. Hey, look, if they can do that, that's fine. But, until he goes to Houston, I'm right there. But, thinking about that, though, what we were talking about last night on College Football Frenzy about Will Anderson going to Houston, that's something really something to think about. Everybody's so checked in on him going to Arizona. As Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friends. You keep it. Houston Texans got the pick before the Arizona Cardinals. If they're in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes right now, they can easily turn around, like Paul just put up here in the chat. They can easily move. They can easily get him, and now you're looking at, the kid from Alabama going there. The DN going from out, and where's he going to? He's going to D'Amico Ryans. Will Anderson going right to D'Amico Ryans. Tell me that wouldn't throw a monkey wrench in inside the first round. Here's a question I got for you guys. What's up with all these cornerbacks? I have heard nothing about these cornerbacks in about a month. Okay? Haven't heard about Christian Gonzalez. Haven't heard about Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter. Haven't heard nothing about these guys. Update. Phillies down 4-0. Sixers 58-47 halftime. Oh, there you go. Hardest working man in podcast right there. Always on it, giving us live updates. So it looks like the Phils are about to crap the bed and drop the first game. Now, this is, mind you, too. This is a Rockies team that got smoked yesterday by the Pirates like 12-1. He got smoked. 12-1. And they come here and they're shutting the Phillies out. This Phillies team got to get it together, man. This offense got to stop acting anemic and start hitting the ball. Balls. But, yeah. So let me know. What are your thoughts? If you're there at 10, who are you taking if they're still available? To me, once Jalen Carter goes off the board, once either Soronsky or Carter go off the board, you got to start making calls, I think, to fall back. Reason being is I don't think Soronsky's getting past number 9. I really don't. I think he's going to go to the Bears. And it's so apropos. I mean, he's a Midwest kid. He went to Northwestern. They play their home games just north of Chicago. The kid ain't got far to go. He's coming there to protect Justin Fields. Makes a lot of sense. And especially with the upgrades that the Bears have made on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. So the Bears right now, I can see them really jumping in and taking him. I feel like as soon as you see Carter or Soronsky come off the board, you have to trade back. Now, if Soronsky is there, Carter, Seahawks, Soronsky, Bears. I don't know about everybody keeps pointing him to Seattle, dude. I don't think that's a foregone conclusion either. I think if Anderson gets taken by Houston, you're going to see Carter go to Arizona. So, I mean, hopefully Seattle's got a contingency plan there at number 5 because it's going to be kind of hard to go. But again, next Thursday night, everybody, the who's who of this network will be on here doing the draft. I may sneak on for a little while, so I will not be on. My show, the 4 for 4 Locker Room Podcast, will not be on. Again, I am rating the Big Blue Power Hour next Friday night. Me, Danny, and my offspring will be doing live reaction to round number 2 between 2 and 3 for the NFL draft. I'll be joining them as well. I may try to sneak on here if it isn't too crazy and all these other people, but Paul Spencer says you have a better chance of picking a perfect March Madness bracket than the NFL draft. Yeah. I want to know, what team do you see? I'll say 17 to 21. Out of those teams, who's picking 17 to 21? Who do you think there is going to make a big play to try to move up to like the 10th spot? Because there's always one team that does it. There's always one team that's sitting back between 17 and 21, and they send a boatload of picks, and they go up like 10 spots. They'll go to if they're at 21, they'll move to 11. Or if they're at 20, they'll go to 10. Like the Giants did to the Bears a couple years ago. Giants were sitting at, if you remember, it was the Eagles, the Giants, and then it was the Cowboys, Giants, then the Eagles. Eagles and Cowboys do a trade. They swap picks. Eagles take Devontae Smith. They jump ahead of the Giants to get Devontae. Giants were mad. They didn't get their guy. They wanted Devontae. They didn't get him. So what happens? Chicago calls them. They're at 20. They sent a few first-round draft picks, a couple third-rounders. They swap. Giants move back to 20. Bears move up to 11. Giants end up getting Kadarius Toney that year, too. Kind of interesting. So I just want to know, in those teams from 17 to 21, I can see Seattle at 20 moving up. They have so many picks and future picks. Thanks, Russell Wilson. Yeah, dude, Russell Wilson got to have a bounce back year this year. My thing is, though, is he going to have Jerry Jeudy to throw to? Because you take a look at it, they got some pretty good young wideouts out there. You got Jeudy, you got Hamlin, the kid that used to KJ Hamlin or Hamler from Penn State. He's out there. Cortland Sutton's out there. Like they should have no issues catching the ball out there. Those guys. So I mean, I don't know. It's really kind of thinking here. Like, what do you see happening? Paul says Seattle. They have a bunch of picks. They could probably afford to move up or back. But the interesting thing is going to be is what are they going to do with that 5th pick? Though a lot of people think Jalen Carter is going to drop to them. I'm telling you, if Will Anderson goes to Houston, that's going to throw a monkey wrench into a lot of things. So because right now they're looking at it, was it with Bryce Young is looking to be the number 1 quarterback off the board. So that's meaning right now, CJ Stroud could end up possibly going, it'll come down between Stroud and Richardson to go to Indy. If you really think about that, because if they, at number 2, if they take the number 2 pick, you know what I mean? Because I like I said, Bryce Young looks like he's going to Carolina. Or could Carolina turn around and pull, something crazy and have them take Will Anderson? You want to talk about throwing a monkey wrench in everybody's thing? Holy cow. You imagine if Carolina drafts Will Anderson to go opposite end of Brian Burns? Think about that for a second. I mean, they got Andy Dalton down there. They could probably get some good mileage out of Andy. They got Andy Dalton down there. Miles Sanders is down there now as a running back. They could probably get it. They could who else is down there too? I think ain't Robbie Anderson down there, or Chosen? What's his name? Chosen now? Chosen? No. He left there. He's not there no more. I was about to say, I thought he went there, but Robbie Anderson just signed somewhere, or Chosen Anderson just signed somewhere recently. It might have been Miami. But, why not? You got Andy Dalton for a couple of years down there. Dalton's a serviceable quarterback. You got Miles Sanders who can run the ball down there. Why not take him and go? 3 things I see. Seattle, Carter, Sharansky, or Anderson to bring back the Wagner days. Maybe. I wasn't sold on the whole Bobby Wagner thing. Watching him play a year ago, he looked like he's lost a step. Him playing in that Rams defense, he didn't look right. And maybe him going back to Seattle might rejuvenate himself a little bit. I thought the Cowboys were smart for not signing him. I know I was so thankful the Eagles didn't sign him. I love by the way, the linebackers that the Eagles went out and got, holy cow. Kudos to Howie. Got 3 really good linebackers. Now, you got Nakobe Dean. You got the kid Morrow, who came over from the Bears. I'm trying to think who else they signed to. That was, but, yeah, I can't believe that. Like, it's crazy about what's going on with them. Paul, apparently missing some comments from YouTube. I just actually got text. Is there anything coming in off the YouTube? Because got a few people emailing me about that. But okay. That's weird. But yeah, going on with them, with Seattle, man. I don't know. I'm actually might do a little bit of a tape segment or something. I'm going to try and get my boy Sean Gardner on. I affectionately, we know him as Camo. Really good with the draft. Like to get him on. Maybe after the draft, we'll do a little review as normal with Sean. But I don't know, man. Seattle does have a lot of picks, but I just don't know if they're going to use them all. You know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of save some picks. Sometimes you use some picks to trade back. So it's really interesting to see what they're going to do. But I'm waiting to see what's going on with the third, with the top 3 things. Within the top 5. I think the top 5 is going to get screwy. I really do, because they're saying the way what's being commented by the media and what the coaches are saying are total opposite ends of the spectrum. So, you know, that's why I'm really, really worried about what is going on, with them. So, but again, guys, listen, we could sit here and talk about this all day. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think is going to happen within the first 5 pick of the draft? Is there going to be who's going to do something out of those first 5 picks? Who do you guys think is going to really do something that none of us saw coming? Because it's the draft. Every year there's like 4 or 5 picks in the first 30 that you just scratch your head and go, whoa, I did not see that coming. So we're just going to narrow it down to the top. I'll even let you guys do top 10. Out of the top 10, who do you see taking somebody that you are going to be like, wow, I didn't see that coming? So, again, put it up there in the comments, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're seeing us live, especially on the YouTubes. Make sure you throw up the questions over there. Paul, definitely get to them. We got a few minutes left, guys, with this, because I have to make sure I get off because we got Fight Club 215 following us. Of course, the hardest working man is Houston's going defense and trading for Lamar. He's my kid. You can check him out tomorrow night. Him and Danny on the Big Blue Power Hour. So, but, before we get out of here, guys, we're going to run this. I'll be back in about a minute. We're going to close out. But before we go, make sure you guys answer this. What do you think is going to happen in that top 12 or top 10? What surprise you think is going to have? I'll see you guys in about a minute. Oh, guys, it has been a fun ride. Again, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night. Actually, tune in later on, roughly in about an hour or so. Paul Spencer, Joey Woods, a.k.a. Lucky Larry. And that's what I want you guys to call him from now on. His new name is Lucky Larry. Okay? Him and Paul Spencer will be checking in a little later on. Roughly in about an hour, hosting 215 Fight Club. Make sure you check them out. Again, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Big Blue Power Hour with my son, Danny, Stacy. They will be on. Make sure you guys check them out. And, of course, Saturday, Ken Fry, 10 p.m., Vegas Sports Scene. Check them out. We've already ran down the lineup for you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys a week from tomorrow night. Oh, Rangers postgame after 215. Thank you so much for doing that. So make sure you can check Danny out tonight. And if the Devils win, you can all rag them about it. So make sure you guys tune in. 215 Fight Club coming up next. After that, Rangers postgame. So, guys, you have a great night. And I will see you next Wednesday.